Hey, my dear beautiful Greetings. Today we're going to talk about the internal structure of the atmosphere. Yes, that is a very beautiful topic. So first and foremost, I'd like to cover that the Earth is composed of four structures, or you can say four layers. Yes, the first one, of course, is going to be the what? The crust. Yes, the crust. So the crust is the outermost solid layer that is divided into an oceanic and continental crust. I'm still going to talk about that further in the video. I just want you to recognize the crust from this structure of the earth. So the crust is this one that I shaded here. You can see I shaded with red. It is basically where you are staying. It is basically the infrastructure. It is basically where the infrastructure is built. It is basically the soil, the earth that is stand on. It is the crust is mostly said that it is composed of sedimentary rocks, but I still come into the types of rocks in future videos, which I'm going to make after this one. Yes. So the second layer of the earth, let's not waste time, is what we call a mantle. The mantle is a thick semi-solid layer beneath the crust. Yes, so it is after the crust. It is composed of silicate rocks, and we have two types of mantle. We have the upper mantle and the lower mantle. So, but then I want you to focus on what? On mainly the topic, because the upper mental and the lower mental are just subtopics of the mental. Yes, this you can learn with them if only you are interested in this topic. The upper mental includes the asthenosphere, a partially molten layer that allows for plate movement. Still going to talk about plate movement in future videos for my grade 10s. So also the lower mental, it is a what? It is a solid, but with the potential to flow over long time scales. So here nothing is important. The only important thing that you must know is what we have is that we have what? A mantle. And a mantle is what? It is a semi-solid rock. It is typically a mantle is just what? A solid rock that has beneath what? The crust. Yes. I just want you to know about that. Let me show you the mantle quickly. So mantle is this one. It is this part. Yes, this part here. I'm shading it right now. Yes. The rest one, this is the mantle. Just gotta know that it's beneath what? The crust. So as we go on to the third layer, we have what they call the outer core. So the outer core is a liquid layer of iron and nickel responsible for the Earth's magnetic field. That does not matter for this grade. If only you're interested in this the topic, you can learn more. But then for my grade 10s, I just want you to know the what? That we have an outer core afterward, after the mantle. Yes. We go to the fourth layer, which is the inner core. Yes, as you can hear, the inner core, this is the last core, the inner core of the structure of the earth. So there's a solid sphere of iron nickel. This by extreme high temperatures. Okay, from my degree sense, you can note that it has what contains what? High temperatures due to immense pressure. So the most important thing that you just have to know is this four layers, which is what? The crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. Yes, as you can see here, this is what? The outer core, and this is what? The inner core. Just have to know this because they may ask them in future exams or tests. So just gotta keep in mind. So to solidify your knowledge, we must go on to what? To a further clearer more structure or diagram. So first and foremost, I'd like you to recognize this here is what we call it what? A crust. So a crust is what? 0 to 100 kilometers thick. Yeah, so it's very thick. So if only you dig 100 kilometers deep down, you will go above the crust and enter what? The mantle. Yes. So here's the mantle. Here I've circled it. So this whole part is the mantle. I'm sorry for that. This whole part is the mantle. So the mantle is 2,900 kilometers away from what? The crest. Yes. So it is a very long journey to get to the mantle. Then we have what we call what? We call what? The outer core. The outer core. So the outer core, it is what? 5,100 kilometers deep or thick. Yes. So the last but least That's what the inner core. Yes. The inner core is about 6,378 kilometers deep or thick. Yes. So another thing you must recognize is that what the outer core is mostly what liquid. Yes. It can be considered as magma. Yes, but then you're still going to come to that. Still on further videos, we're going to talk about magma and all of that. But then just know the inner core is mostly what solid. Yes. So yes, this is the complete structure of what the structure of the earth. So we come to what the crust, as I said, that we're going to come back to the continental crust and the oceanic crust. Yes. So the crust is divided into two things, two parts, I may say, which is the continental crust and the oceanic crust. So let's start with the differences or the comparison between the both of them. So the oceanic crust is typically more denser, is more denser than the continental crust. But then the continental crust, it is the opposite. It is less denser than oceanic crust. Yes, that is what the difference between the two. As you can see, they say that the oceanic crust is composed of what? Basaltic rock. So this here is basaltic rock. Still going to talk about the types of rock. You will understand it in more further videos. Composed of like granite and quartz. It is what? The continental crust. So yes, they have different types of rocks. As you can see, the color here differs from here. Then it is generally thinner than continental crust. Yes, you can see here, this is much thinner than this. This is what is more thicker, and this is much what thinner. Yes, excuse me for my drawings, but I'm just trying to draw a picture inside your mind that the difference of these two types of crust is what? Thickness, density, and rock type. Yes. So with that, my dear great friends, I would like to conclude this video. Hopefully you found it fast, informative, and you can use it to pass your examination. Take all notes. If only you're confused or have any confusion, make sure that you talk to me in the comment section below so I can make future videos related to what type of help you need in which sections. I thank you, my dear.